Hello, this is Chad Middleton, your vocational expert at Vision Counseling and Vocational Consulting. I want to do a quick video about the Chapter 31 Vocational Rehabilitation and Employment Services Eligibility Process. Okay. I am a former voc rehab counselor, and I understand that there's a lot of people being found not entitled to services because they really don't understand what the program is all about. A lot of people just want to use the program to go to school, but voc rehab is not an education program. Okay, it's an employment program, as you see in the title, VR&E, Vocational Rehabilitation and Employment Services. So employment is the central focus of the program. So to be found eligible for the service, all you need to have is a service-connected disability. All right, that can be at a 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, 100% disability. You're eligible for applying for the Chapter 31 voc rehab program. However, just because you're eligible does not mean that you're entitled. To become entitled, you must have an assessment or an evaluation by a vocational rehabilitation counselor like myself. During this session, you are going to be asked to fill out a lot of forms, ask a lot of questions about your education, your age, your work experience, and such, and then participate in an initial evaluation where you sit face to face or virtually to talk about what it is you're needing from the voc rehab program. Now, voc rehab is not education, like I said before, but if all you want is educational services, then you can use your GI Bill benefits. You can use your Montgomery GI Bill benefits, which is the Chapter 30 program. You can use your new Montgomery GI Bill benefits, which is your Chapter 33 program. Or you can use your dependents education program, which I believe is Chapter 35, where your parents or someone or your husband or spouse, which is a 100% disabled veteran, allows you to utilize these benefits to pursue any educational endeavor. However, voc rehab is centered around employment. Okay, employment. The voc rehab program's agenda is to provide veterans with service-connected disabilities, those that have an impairment to employment, get training, get services that's needed to overcome their disabilities and to obtain and maintain suitable employment. Let me say that again. The purpose of the program is for you to have suitable employment. All right. So the criteria that a voc rehab counselor will use in your eligibility is determining what type of job do you have if you're employed? Do you have education to qualify for a job? And whether or not that job that you're either eligible for or that you're currently working is a suitable occupation. Okay. If it is determined that you have an impairment to employment, then of course the voc rehab program can provide you education, training, or some type of benefit to help overcome that impairment. Okay. But if you do not have an impairment to employment, then of course you will not be found eligible for the benefit. So let's back up. All right. You have a 10% or 20%, let's say a 30% rating for flat feet. Okay. You have zero education. You don't have, you only have a high school diploma, but you have flat feet. And you're currently employed as a telecommunications person. You're working behind the desk on the phone and you're working in a sedentary position. It's very likely that the job that you have can be considered suitable employment because the job that you have does not aggravate your service-connected disabilities. Remember, if you are currently suitably employed, then the voc rehab program has no need to provide you additional training because you've already achieved rehabilitation status. You're working in a suitable occupation. All right. So hypothetical number 2 is you have a veteran that has a 40% rating for a lumbar strain. Okay. He's currently working as an automotive mechanic. Okay. Um, as you see with these circumstances, he's been trained from the military. He has employment as a automotive mechanic, but he has a 40% rating for a lumbar strain. Okay. During this assessment, the voc rehab counselor would determine that his current job is not suitable. Why do you say that? Because in a job as an automotive mechanic, there's heavy lifting involved, there's bending, squatting, stooping, there's a lot of physically strenuous work activities that affects your ability to continue to work in a job as an automotive mechanic consistently because of your service-connected disabilities. So what the program does is finds that person who was eligible entitled to benefits. Okay. Once you become entitled to benefits, the voc rehab program or the counselor asks you, what can we do to help overcome your disability? All right. Usually, if the person is tested for the interests, aptitudes, and abilities, they've always wanted to be a school teacher. So what the program will do is provide education, training, and assistance to get that degree as a school teacher so that that person can qualify and then subsequently work as a school teacher, which is considered a more suitable job. School teacher doesn't require any physically strenuous work, at least most jobs don't, and is not considered a job that will aggravate service-connected disabilities. So the last example is a veteran has a 30% disability. Let's call it for right shoulder, 20% for right shoulder impingement, and 10% for ringing in the ears. All right. He has a 30% rating. And this person is not employed. Okay. First, the voc rehab counselor must determine if he or she has an impairment to employment. Now, you get into an assessment and you feel like your shoulder doesn't bother you, your ringing in your ears does not affect your ability to work, you will not be found entitled to benefits. Let me say that again. If you go into your evaluation minimizing the impact of your disabilities, saying that your right shoulder doesn't bother you, your ringing in the ears does not really affect you performing a job, the voc rehab program does not serve you. The counselor will determine that you're not eligible for services because you do not have an impairment to employment. Okay. So it's not really based on what you say, it's based on the impact of your service-connected disability. So if your disabilities are not causing you to have functional limitations that impact your ability to work, the voc rehab program will or may deny you due to the fact that you do not have an impairment to employment. Hopefully this makes sense. But regardless of what your circumstances are, if you'd like to go through a preliminary assessment, a consultation with me, the vocational expert, give our office a call, 803-563-5087, or email us at admin@vcandvc.com. That's ADMIN at vcandvc.com to arrange a consultation. Okay, we can prepare you for what your vocational rehabilitation evaluation may look like, and answer some questions about the program that you probably won't get a whole lot of input in the VR&E office. And what you don't want to do is go in blind, not knowing how the program works, and talk yourself out of the benefit, if that makes any sense. Okay, call our office and schedule an assessment. All right, I'm a vocational expert. I have training at VR&E services. I also work for the state in vocational rehabilitation for the department. of Voc Rehab in South Carolina. So the assessment process for the VA is what I want to assist you with. A lot of veterans go in and they're found not entitled to services because they're not really prepared. They're figuring that the program is an education program, but it's not an education program. Although most of the people that apply for Voc Rehab wants to use education, it's not an education program. If you're interested in education programs, look at some other education programs. But Voc Rehab program is about your disabilities, your functional limitations, your impairment to employment, and how the federal government is going to provide you training to help overcome those limitations and become suitably employed. Okay, I'm going to do a few more videos about VR&E. If you're interested, please like, share, follow. But most importantly, if you have circumstances that you would like to discuss, you can contact our office and schedule a consultation so we can talk about your preparation for your Voc Rehab evaluation. All right. God bless you. Thank you for checking us out. Like, share, comment if you must, but we're here to help you out. Okay. A lot of people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Not really destroyed, but they are not found entitled to benefits due to their lack of knowledge. My job is to educate you, to try to help you and assist you with the knowledge that we have. Hopefully, you can use this information to get a favorable determination with the Department of Veterans Affairs VR&E division with the education that we provide you. All right. God bless you. Look forward to hearing from you real soon. I also probably going to do more videos with different types of hypotheticals to let you know how the VR&E process works and whether or not your situation and circumstances meets criteria for VR&E services. All right. God bless you. Have a good one.